TKO, his status as a contender grew. Then last March, in a bout you saw here on ABC, Evander solidified his claim to a junior heavyweight title fight with this demolition of Shisandamoudi. And so today, Evander Holyfield takes on Dwight Qawi, a man who possesses what Holyfield desires, a title, and also something he does not care to own, a violent past out of the ring. Inside it, he has been a rousing success. He was called Dwight Braxton when he won his first title almost 5 years ago in December of '81. He dominated then-champion Matthew Saad Muhammad and finally stopped him late in round 10 to win the WBC light heavyweight title. He went on to make 3 successful defenses of his title before losing it by a 15-round decision to then WBA champion Michael Spinks back in March of 1983. After that loss, he became Dwight Qawi and grew steadily into a junior heavyweight. And after 4 straight wins, annexed his second crown with this 11th round knockout of Piet Krause last July. And in his last fight in March, Qawi enacted a measure of revenge over the Spinks family by stopping Michael's brother Leon here in round 6 in his first title defense. Today, the second title defense. Holyfield and Qawi, 15 rounds for the WBA Junior Heavyweight Championship of the world. Live on Wide World. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig in Atlanta. We're in the middle of a celebration here in this city over the 50th anniversary of Margaret Mitchell's great novel, Gone with the Wind. I can only think that if Red Butler were here with us today and was a boxing fan, he could not in any way look Scarlett in the eye and say, frankly, I don't give a damn about this bout, because there's so many stories working, and working with me today to help explain some of them is Alex Waller. What about some of the things that excite you of this fight?
Al, I think this fight is intriguing for a number of reasons. First, it's a classic matchup between the old pro Qawi and the young, hungry, up-and-coming contender Holyfield. After only 11 pro fights, is it too soon for Evander? And at age 33, is it too late for Dwight? Second, both fighters are strong and very aggressive, and just their styles alone should make for a very good action fight. And finally, and most importantly, it figures to be a very competitive fight. The Las Vegas odds makers have made it 7-5 Holyfield, but everybody in boxing agrees that these two men are very closely matched. We've all been waiting for the day when the 1984 American Olympic team would step up and meet the best of the world at their respective divisions, and today Evander Holyfield becomes the first to do that.
It'll be very interesting, I think, for you to look at the lives of both of these fighters. They're so different. First, there's this man, Evander Holyfield, fighting today in his hometown of Atlanta, trying to erase the fight that concluded his amateur career just a couple of years ago. This is Holyfield in the semifinals at the Olympic Games in Los Angeles versus Kevin Barry of New Zealand.
Even though there's no blood there. Oh, there it goes.
The referee said, though, that the knockdown came after a command to break. A disqualification resulted in a disappointing bronze medal. Evander has watched the tape countless times. The result never changes.
I was disappointed. Main thing, I felt like that was going to tarnish my professional career. People just gonna look at me just as just another boxer, but it turned out the other way, that people respected me a lot, and a lot of people felt like, you know, I was the gold medal winner, even though I received the bronze, but I felt like the highest goal in amateur is to win a gold medal in Olympics, and I don't think that can ever replace that gold medal.
To him, the dream of a world title stuttered, but now he's the first of that '84 team to have that title chance. The boxing career began at a local boys club here in Atlanta, at a time in his life when Evander's friends somehow got away with calling him chubby. It never bothered him.
No, it never did make me mad. Matter of fact, when I went to school, I used to get in a confrontation with the teacher because she would call me Evander, and I wanted her to call me chubby.
The good-natured, soft-spoken Holyfield becomes someone else in the ring. Someone with a scary stare like Liston and determination to match.
You have to be a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, you know, you're just two different people. So, you know, how can you come to church and always smiling and stuff? Then we just seen you Sunday, our last Sunday on TV, all mean and to look like you trying to kill somebody. When I get in that ring, I know that my money and my profits all depend on the fight. And I know I got to be real serious when I get in this ring, and I just can't take it like an everyday thing. I try to put my heart and soul and my mind into what I'm doing in that ring. And come out, I want to be the winner. I don't want nothing else but to be the winner.
At home in an Atlanta suburb are living proof that his life is more than boxing. There's wife Paulette, 2-year-old son Evander Jr., and daughter Ashley. Evander was the youngest of 8 children, but Mom Holyfield always had time for her family, and now Evander wants to always have time for his. He's easy to like. Just ask Atlanta car dealer Ken Sanders, who took Holyfield under his wing when he needed a co-signer for a car 3 years ago, and became his manager and teacher. Boxing for 4 or 5 years, then the car business. Evander has it all worked out.
I always had a positive attitude about anything I wanted. I feel as being a man, you should be able to get anything you want. And the thing is just if you're gonna take time and work for it, you know. And I feel like when you work for something, you can get it. And I know I'm gonna work hard for that title, and I feel like I'm gonna get it.
And so this is the big day for Evander Holyfield. When we return, a look at the life of Dwight Muhammad. So we've already seen a glimpse of the life of Evander Holyfield. He can laugh about some of his childhood, but I don't think Dwight Muhammad Qawi can find very much to laugh about, Alex.
Al, most boxers come from very tough backgrounds, but the life of Dwight Muhammad Qawi has been filled with almost unbelievable brutality. He was one of 13 children, 10 boys. 2 of his brothers are dead. Of the remaining 7, 6 have served time for felonies, including his older brother, who beat their father to death in 1984. At one point, Dwight himself appeared on the verge of a lifetime in prison.
He grew up in the slums of Camden, New Jersey, a violent young man, totally unable to cope with society, never in school and constantly in trouble with the police. His childhood home was here on Berkeley Street. By 1982, this block had been abandoned and virtually destroyed. During his teenage years, Dwight was headed for the same fate.
I came from a large family, and the chances of me heading to where I ended up at in jail was great. You know, the chance of me going was great because there was no direction, you know, so things were scarce at home, and fate took its course.
On October 27, 1972, Dwight was arrested and eventually convicted for robbing this bar, the Dreamer's Lounge. His 3rd armed robbery conviction sent him to Rahway State Prison for 5 years. He was 19 years old and behind bars.
Still got the same shower.
10 years later, he visited Rahway with his brother Stanley to see his old cell and developed an overwhelming desire to shake free from his troubled past.
I was forced to be in that situation, but I took advantage of it, the solitude more than anything, you know, and my thinking, you know, it was time for me to think. I mean, people move so fast, you know, they don't think. You know, a lot of people there, they just go to the recreation, they just go eat, everything is routine, and they never take time out to take advantage of that cell and that solitude and just think, you know, why am I here? What happened? You know, what went wrong? What can I do to avoid it, you know, from happening again, and really keep thinking about it.
When he was paroled, Dwight joined the Muslim temple in Camden, and he says his religious worship there and his relationship with his minister have been the major factors in his effort to turn his life around. And he credits his faith in Islam with giving him the strength to persevere.
Really, Islam woke me up as far as of the reality. When I say reality, you know, is just, you know, I was, you know, just like typical again, like being lazy and waiting on somebody to give me something, having a chip on my shoulder, thinking someone owed me something. But Islam taught me that the earth is spacious, that a man can accomplish what he will, you know, and just, you know, it's a way of life.
Today, when Dwight goes back to Berkeley Street, he sees an amazing transformation where bombed-out buildings have been totally reconstructed, and he's pleased that his old neighborhood has as promising a new life as he does.
It's a sign, like, you know, the same with my life, you know. You know, it was like, we both sort of was down in the dumps, you know, and then we shining, you know, the building's shining, I'm shining.
One of the things that gives Dwight the most pride and pleasure is the life he has built with his 2 children and his girlfriend, Valerie Walls. But if you ask him what is his greatest success, he talks not of his family and not of his 2 world titles. In his mind, there is one major accomplishment.
I would have to say staying out of jail, staying away from that cold cell. You know, I've been most successful for what I came through and for it being all I knew. And I would have to say I had to be more happy and content that I stayed away from that and became a productive member of society and a good neighbor, you know, and it's a good man. You know.
Here's Dwight Muhammad Qawi live in his dressing room, reflecting, thinking ahead. A sad addendum to that story we just saw. His brother Stanley, that he visited Rahway with once, is now behind bars at Rahway as a repeated offender. And now making his way into the arena is Evander Holyfield. Remember, this is his hometown. He brings into the ring with him a record of 11-0 with 8 knockouts. And the crowd could be a big factor for him today.
You know, Al, the crowd support can work either way on the hometown hero. It can inspire Evander, or it can add to the pressure and make him try too hard, make it more difficult for him to relax. You see there his Olympic teammates, Pernell Whitaker, Terrell Biggs, Mark Breland, slapping hands, and he goes up into the ring.
Evander Holyfield hearing the cheers, and in just a moment, the world champion himself, Dwight Muhammad Qawi, will make his way into the ring. To a chorus of boos, the man who wears the world championship belt in the WBA Junior Heavyweight division has entered the ring, Dwight Muhammad Qawi. I understand we're having some audio difficulties with our transmission in Atlanta. We're working on it, and we hope to have that fixed shortly.
You see Dwight there in prayer with his Muslim minister before the fight. He's tried very hard in the build-up for this fight to intimidate Holyfield, and he's going to continue to do that during the fight. This is calculated by him. He's trying to lure his opponent into recklessness, and he's trying to capitalize on Evander's inexperience. Evander cannot lose his cool. He must stay relaxed because tension takes a tremendous toll physically. And one of Evander's biggest challenges here is going to be overcoming the psychological barrier of going 15 rounds for the first time. I remember him in the amateurs, and he admits he used to run out of gas in 3-round amateur fights. But he's undergone an unusual 6-week conditioning program in Houston recently, using all the modern conditioning techniques. And he says he's physically and mentally prepared to go 15 rounds if he has to.
His pulse is probably very quick right now. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. A decade difference between the two. The weight pretty much the same. Big height advantage for Holyfield, and with that comes a reach advantage of almost 6 inches. So ahead, live on Wide World of Sports, the 15-round junior heavyweight fight for Qawi's World Boxing. Back live in Atlanta at the Omni. I'm Al Troutwig along with Alex Walu. The bell rings, and this is round 1. Scheduled to go 15 for the junior heavyweight title that belongs, at least for the moment, to Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Here in Georgia, the scoring is done on the 10-point must system. The winner of each round must receive 10 points, the loser 9 or less. Scoring is done by 3 judges with a non-scoring referee, who in this case is Vinny Raynon. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, and the fight will be ruled a knockout if 3 knockdowns occur. Also, the standing 8 count is in effect, as is the mandatory 8 count. The crowd very lively, and Alex, we haven't heard any of your early strategy. How about it?
You just saw Holyfield. He is devastating right now. He is just outspeeding the champion. He's doing everything he has to do. He's got that 6-inch reach advantage, and he's got the 6-inch height advantage. And Evander just has to find the range where he can reach Qawi, but Qawi cannot reach him. On Dwight's part, he cannot change at age 33. He's just going to put on relentless pressure. Unlike most fighters who are coming in all the time, Al, Qawi is a good defensive fighter. He covers well, he bobs, he weaves. Evander must use that jab to try to pierce that defensive shell, and he's doing that very well right now.
Hard left off the forehead of Qawi, so difficult to penetrate his defenses, but right now, grimacing. Holyfield trying to penetrate with the left.
Right now, the biggest difference is the reach and the speed. Evander is just quicker than Dwight. Both fighters are light heavyweights. Evander outgrew that division. I think Dwight ate himself out of that division. I think he's carrying excess poundage, and that has to hurt his reflexes and his speed.
And yet he still thinks he can go up to the heavyweight division.
If he gets by this fight, that's a very big if.
This is the division that the WBC and IBF call the Cruiserweight division. Holyfield in the white trunks with blue trim. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, once more well known as the Camden Buzzsaw, in the white trunks with red trim. A good left-right combination to the head of Qawi.
But you have to watch very closely with Dwight Muhammad Qawi, because he does block an awful lot of punches. And right now, Evander is getting through often.
A wild right after a good left-right combination. Lots of noise in the Omni right now. Watch Qawi stalking, constantly moving forward. if he ever takes a step back, you'll know that he's in early trouble.
Evander right now is making a little bit of a mistake in the closing seconds of here. He's backing straight up. He should be moving from side to side. Stay within punching range. There, he moves to his right, away from the Qawi right hand.
We're watching the WBA Junior Heavyweight Championship bout between Qawi and Holyfield, and it's off to a great start. We'll be back. Round 2 scheduled to go 15. We're live in Atlanta. Evander Holyfield with a big height advantage over Dwight Qawi, and lots of punches were thrown. And as Alex mentioned in the first round, the big question with Qawi as he throws a lunging left to the midsection of Holyfield is how many of those punches get through that good defense of his.
There was one moment that I was waiting for. Qawi hit Evander with a solid right hand, and Evander didn't go anywhere. Dwight has a good jab, very accurate, good power, but his money punch has always been the right hand. He throws it from all angles, throws it overhand, throws uppercuts with it. There's Evander moving side to side. But that is not where Evander wants to be. He's right on the inside. He's too close to Qawi. He should be at longer range, using his jab to get his distance and then letting his hands go. He does not want to fight this fight on the inside.
Where Qawi wants to be. Now here he is in close. Couple of body shots by Qawi to Holyfield.
That's it. He had to turn him away. He was on the ropes there momentarily. He wants to fight this fight out in the center of the ring, and Qawi wants to fight it on the ropes and in the corners, just the way he did with Leon Spinks in his last defense.
It is a 20-foot ring. Remember, Holyfield has only gone to 8 rounds once in his career, and only to 6 rounds all the other fights. That was the maximum.
And that 15-round distance is an intimidating thing, Al. Even so great a fighter as Marvin Hagler, the first time he did it in his first try for the world middleweight title against Vito Antuofermo, he was intimidated after round 10. He was in unknown territory.
There's none of that smiling taunting from Dwight Qawi. Not yet. He's taking some licks from Holyfield, but now here comes Qawi back. And Holyfield slides off the ropes.
Again, Evander pulling straight back and vulnerable to the Qawi right.
I heard Lou Duva scream from the corner of Holyfield that Dwight Qawi is cut. He has never been cut in his career. Neither has Holyfield. Neither of these fighters have ever been down in their career. I don't see the cut yet.
Evander has to defend himself there at the barrel. They're fighting after the barrel.
The bad blood is flowing.
Evander Holyfield certainly knows what it is to not hear a bell or hear a referee's instructions, but I can tell you that this is not a very good bell here in Atlanta. It sounds more like the school bell when we were late for study hall, Al. And with this crowd going wild, you just can't hear it.
Some of the action from the second round.
See, those are not solid right hands by Evander here. He triples, I think, with the right hand here. Keeps trying it. Tried a left uppercut there. I would think that the uppercut would be a tremendous punch for Evander, with Dwight bending over and being so tough to hit from on top. I think he should use that right uppercut whenever he's inside.
I'm still looking for the cut that I heard Lou Duva exclaim about.
I don't see Eddie Ariana working on a cut in the corner. Wesley Muzan's the chief second. There's the Holyfield corner. Lou Duva saying, just relax.
Dwight Qawi's record, 26-2-1 with 15 knockouts. No amateur fights on record. Holyfield 11-0 with 8 knockouts. And on we go to round 3, scheduled for 15. Holyfield, a couple of big punches from the left and another one from the right.
I gave Evander the first 2 rounds, but I don't think he's fighting the fight that he
wanted to fight. He's going to war with Dwight Qawi.
Holyfield was going for it. He doesn't want to go 15 rounds. Alex, he's only in round 3 and he's using so much energy.
Exactly right. The point I was trying to make before that flurry. If he has any doubts about his stamina, a warning there by referee Vinny Raynone to Qawi about low blows. Dwight Qawi at his size is going to hit low, and he's going to hit low often, and he just did it again.
And a warning to Qawi, and still he stalks and comes in again. Head first, gloves up.
Evander expended a lot of energy early in this round, as you pointed out, Al. The key to the fight is whether he can sustain it, because he's going to get Dwight Qawi in his face all afternoon.
A right from Qawi sent the sweats flying off the head of Holyfield. That right got into the jaw of Qawi.
War on the inside, short range, Dwight Qawi territory, not Evander Holyfield territory. I'm not saying he's not holding his own inside, but he doesn't have to be there.
Right uppercut from Qawi got into the chin of Holyfield. Boy, they're exchanging so many punches. Qawi not blocking as many as I thought he might.
Low blow by Qawi and then a low blow in retaliation by Holyfield. He may only have 11 pro fights, but he's learned that you have to fend for yourself. You can't wait for the referee to deduct points.
Qawi, the thick neck, built like a tree trunk, and Holyfield, the body beautiful, tall and slender.
One statistic we didn't have in the tail of tape, Holyfield has a 29-inch waist as against Qawi's 36-inch waist.
So they can't switch trunks when this fight is over.
Just a tank, Qawi. He just comes in, he's got him on the ropes. Evander moves up, but he does not look fresh.
I thought he looked a little tired, leaning against the ropes.
Did Evander coming off there.
Just seconds remaining in this, the third round. Keep in mind the stamina and just plain smarts that might belong with Dwight Muhammad Qawi. We are live at the Omni in Atlanta. Round 3 winding down, live on Wide World of Sports. Which has a very strange sound to it here in Atlanta. The bell, as Alex Wallo mentioned a few minutes ago, sounding like a school bell. So on we move to the 4th round. We're scheduled to go 15. This for the junior heavyweight title, the WBA belonging to Dwight Muhammad Qawi, his second title defense.
Right now, Evander Holyfield looks tired. He's laying on the ropes. He said coming in that stamina was a big question with him, and he is very, very tired. Qawi has him right where he wants him. Qawi isn't fresh as a daisy either, don't get me wrong. He's expended a lot of energy, and he's taken a lot of punches from a powerful, young, strong kid. Punching low again there is Qawi.
Lou Duba saying, yelling from the corner, turn him, spin him around, get off the ropes, and finally, Holyfield is able to do that. There is not as much spark and power behind those Holyfield punches. It's very obvious.
Exactly right. Those were just pulling punches. They landed, they scored, but they did little damage.
Approaching the midway point of round 4. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line that at the end of this round, we'll be taking a station break. Boy, would Holyfield like to take a station break right now.
Good body shot by Qawi. Good body shot.
Holyfield came back with a stronger looking right. That punch blocked by Holyfield. Glancing right.
And Holyfield stumbled with that left right. It clipped a little bit on the jaw, but he stumbled. Qawi breathing very heavily, but he is relentless.
A left and a right combination again. Boy, that combo has worked. worked well for Holyfield. But now a big left-right left coming back from Qawi. Holyfield back against the ropes and sliding away.
Qawi's slipping an awful lot of those punches, Al, and that's Holyfield expending energy again with nothing to show for it.
Holyfield's eyes not looking as sharp, and he was back on his heels twice during that last flurry. A couple of blows that looked south of the border from Qawi to me. Just watching these two go at it, there's no way that I can imagine this one going 15. We will continue live from Atlanta, but first, these messages and a word from your local stations. We continue live on ABC's Wide World of Sports with the WBA World Junior Heavyweight Championship bout between Dwight Muhammad Qawi, the shorter man, trying to score one for shorter people here at only 5'7", and Evander Holyfield. This bout has been fought at tremendous pace, and another warning to keep the punches up from Vinny Raynon, the referee. That, I believe, is the third time that he has received words from referee. Qawi has.
And he didn't stop Qawi. He drilled 2 more shots right on the word Holyfield on Evander's belt.
Now, Alex, we thought we may have seen a cut on Qawi. Still, I have not seen blood, but they did use that frozen piece of metal known as an end swell and did apply Vaseline above his left eye.
Well, Dwight has taken punches, taken a lot of shots from Evander, especially right hands on that eye, and there is swelling.
Qawi stopping his feet at Holyfield, and perhaps a little taunting begins. It is a strategy which he would not reveal to Alex Waller yesterday in an interview that we had with him here in Atlanta. What do you think he tries to do with that taunting?
Well, we talked the opening. He tries to get Evander flustered. He tries to take advantage of his inexperience and make him get reckless, get under his skin, make him do things he doesn't want to do. Right now, Evander's just backing all over the ring. He just doesn't have the strength right now to resist Dwight or to make him respect him with his punch. He's got to eventually plant his feet and drill some shots and then move side to side, not stand in front of him right here like this. That's it. Move to his right and let the right hand go. Stay away from Dwight's right hand.
Past the midway point of round 5. Holyfield trying to stay near the middle of the ring where he wants to be, not on the ropes where Qawi just tried to push him. The pace of this bout has slowed tremendously in this, the 5th.
It could not continue. The question is who's going to get their second win first. You would generally expect the younger fighter to get that, but Dwight Muhammad Qawi used to get stronger as the fight progressed. He certainly did when he won the title against Piet Proos.
Qawi's eyes are blood red. He has taken numerous shots. A right-left combo to Holyfield.
He's got Holyfield staggering right now. He's got him hurt. He's not doing anything on defense right now, Evander. He is very, very tired. This is just trench warfare. Right now, Dwight Qawi is winning it. He may not be ahead on points, but he's winning the war.
Holyfield really looking fuzzy there for a moment. But he did come back with a strong left to keep Qawi honest, and now a left-right for his own.
There, he looked a little bit fresher there, Al, in the closing seconds of the round. He planted himself and let his hands go, and momentarily stopped Qawi.
Alex, these are all new experiences right now for Holyfield. He's never been in a position like this. Qawi, let's see if we can listen into the corner of Holyfield.
Okay, David? Now you gotta go. You're in good shape. You're in good shape. Don't run into nothing, right? You're letting him get off first. Don't let him get off first. You got to pepper that jab. Put that jab right there. Come on. Hit him with the jab. Right there. He got to slow down. Don't walk. Hit him with the jab. Use that jab, right? Don't back up so much. You understand? Back it up a little bit. Go around. Okay? Come on, you got to go stiff jab, baby. Stiff jab. And keep turning. Keep turning. And fix still. Keep still.
One of the controversies in the 5th round was yet another low blow from Qawi. Let's take a look. It was more like a paw.
Yeah, that I thought was legitimate. Qawi ran across the ring. There was some confusion in the Holyfield corner.
He didn't have his mouthpiece in.
That's an unusual mistake with as much experience as there is in that Holyfield corner for George Benton and Lou Duva not to get the mouthpiece in.
This is
unusual indeed.
This is round 6, scheduled to go 15.
Evander Holyfield started this fight very fast, won the first round in convincing and impressive fashion, but the rounds have gotten closer and closer since then. I thought 4 was very close, even though I gave it to Holyfield, and I gave 5 to Qawi. The first round I gave him. But he has all the momentum his way right now.
Alex, don't you think that more punches from Holyfield have gotten in beyond the defenses of Qawi in this fight than the tapes that we watched together? And here's Holyfield.
But look there, Al. He missed about 10 consecutive punches. Just when you were talking about it, Qawi got underneath almost every punch from Holyfield and came back and landed punches of his own. You just have to watch Dwight very closely. People throw a lot of punches at him, but surprisingly few get home.
You saw the smiling shrug from 33-year-old Dwight Muhammad Qawi.
And that is demoralizing to Evander. He built up some energy for a flurry, and he got nothing out of it. Again, no movement from Holyfield, none whatsoever, standing right there. Not using the jab, not doing all the things that were laid out for him to do by Georgie Benton and Lou Duva. And the main reason is he just isn't strong enough. He doesn't have the energy right now to execute.
For Holyfield, the boxing gloves aren't weapons right now. They're like lead weights. His punches causing little harm to Qawi.
Again, we must point out that Dwight is not fresh either. But he has been in this territory. This is not something new for him. He's been in tough fights. He's been in wars. Evander never has.
A right from Holyfield spun the head of Qawi. We're approaching the half-minute mark.
Everything in close. As long as Qawi keeps his head on Evander's chest, Evander can't use his reach advantage. It can't really score with power. He's just smothered in there.
When this round is over, Evander Holyfield will move into an area of boxing he has only experienced before. That area beyond the 6th round. Oh, a big right. Sending Holyfield back against the ropes, but he snaps off and keeps Qawi honest. This one is moving along at a great pace.
You got this done.
This junior heavyweight title fight in Atlanta between Dwight Muhammad Qawi and Evander Holyfield is moving into round 7. Now we're really going to get to see what kind of shape Evander Holyfield is in.
At the end of round 7, the two fighters fought well past the bell for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then they heard the bell and stopped. Vinny Raynon, the referee, still hadn't heard the bell.
That's all right, it never got me to class on time either. There's a great atmosphere in the Omni in Atlanta right now. The crowd chanting loudly for Holyfield. Now this is where Holyfield would like to stay for a while, center of the ring. But Qawi sliding around, trying to work Holyfield over towards the ropes. Another big body shots, and that was a low blow from Qawi to Holyfield.
Evander moving to his right, which he was trained to do to stay away from the Qawi power. But he can't continue it, and he's another low blow. Vinny Raynon is going to have to, another warning you heard from him. He's going to have to take a point away to really get Dwight to stop. I was saying that Evander has not been effective punching when he's moving to his right, and he hasn't been able to maintain any kind of movement.
Those combinations not getting in, simply hitting the gloves of Qawi.
You just saw Evander land some right hands to Dwight's shoulder. They want to try to weaken Dwight by doing that, try to open him up, try to bring him out of his shell.
He's such a tough target, though.
Yeah. He just gives you nothing to hit. Gives you the top of his head.
He slides sideways and he covers up his body, which isn't very large to begin with. Holyfield leaning in.
Even when you score a right hand like Evander just did, he rolls away and takes most of the effect away from it. There's the uppercut. Not much on it by Evander, but I really think if he set himself and let his right uppercut go in close, he could score effectively with it.
Another right uppercut from Qawi to Holyfield. That left got into the chin of Qawi, but there wasn't much behind it. In the corner of Holyfield, you may hear Lou Duva screaming, hit the target, hit the target.
Yeah, that target is that left shoulder that he's talking about. We just talked about it. Trying to weaken him, trying to open the opponent up. There, he went after it again.
Just past the half-minute mark of round 7. Keep in mind, Holyfield moving it along in this fight. He's only been to 8 rounds once in his career. And he looks a little slower and slower as this fight moves along. I'm Al Trautwig along with Alex Wallow. We are live at ringside for the WBA World Junior Heavyweight Championship between Evander Holyfield and Dwight Qawi. Qawi has been a bulldog throughout. As we move to round 8, this championship fight scheduled to go 15.
As we come up to the halfway point in this fight, Al, I have Evander ahead by 3 points. I gave him the last round. I thought he came back and scored effectively at moments in that round, and Dwight seemed to be taking some time off. There's some effective punch, a good combination by Evander. Not as crisp, not as powerful, but they were scoring. And Dwight is not throwing back. Generally, he would retaliate. But right now, he's run out of gas a little bit.
Holyfield still, as you see, when he has the opportunity, trying to concentrate on that shoulder of Qawi. But here we go, forehead to forehead, nose to nose, right in the center of the ring.
You saw him go around the elbow to drill. Oh, good right hand by Evander. Evander uses the shoulder to back Dwight up to get himself punching room. Does it again. Has to keep Dwight at bay. Right now, Evander's doing a good job.
He is getting around that defense of Qawi. Holyfield coming through life in this round 8. But look at Qawi still coming. Still stalking. I don't think I've seen him take a step backwards the entire fight.
Really just to regroup a couple of times.
And a left to right that keeps Holyfield back on the ropes, and another good combination.
Good right hand, and he has Evander a little bit hurt right now. Just a little bit stunned.
Alex, it looked as though Evander used up a lot of energy about a minute ago and then tried to take a breather on the ropes, and that's when Qawi jumped all over him.
There will be no breathers in this fight for Evander.
Just about a minute to go.
Just a grueling battle right now of attrition. I mean, you hit me and I'll hit you. I'll flurry, you flurry. It really depends upon stamina.
Good body shot by Qawi. As these two try to chip away at the stamina of each other. Holyfield at the age of 23, Qawi at 33. They both know what a loss would do to their respective careers. And Qawi is warning Holyfield. Holyfield slapped him in the cheek, and then Qawi came right at him.
Qawi was complaining to Holyfield about being held around the head. Evander was trying to clinch, but there have been so few clinches in this fight, he really didn't know how to do it.
Round 9, scheduled to go 15. We've spoken an awful lot about the experience of Evander Holyfield. Well, I think it's important now. He's never gone this far in his professional career, or in his career period. He's fighting Dwight Qawi live this afternoon in Atlanta for the WBA Junior Heavyweight Championship of the world. How did you see that last round? I thought that went back and forth and back and forth. It was tough for me to figure out who might have had the stranglehold on it when it was over.
Well, I thought Evander clearly won, but the
first 45 seconds. Dwight rallied well in the middle of the round. I thought Evander came back and scored maybe a little bit more at the end of the round and shaded that round. Very tough here because, number one, they're doing a lot of infighting. And number two, Dwight is rolling away and blocking and slipping a lot of these punches. It's a tough fight to score. See Dwight bob, see him move, caught that jab. Evander's using the jab now. He's finally listened to George Benton in his corner, and he's holding Dwight off with the jab. And caught him coming in with a good right hand.
Holyfield tried to respond with a right that just glanced off the gloves of Qawi.
He caught him, but he did not stop him. Qawi is right back in his face. Evander showed his strength there. You see him push him away, back Dwight up, but he just can't sustain that.
A lot of gamesmanship on display in between these ropes today in Atlanta. Holyfield still bouncing, still on his toes.
And in this round, using the jab much more, which is a very smart thing to do. He keeps Dwight outside with it and allows himself to take a little bit of a rest.
That uppercut left and a jab from the right by Holyfield got into Qawi, but now Holyfield leaning against the ropes and then again pushing Qawi away.
Yeah, but he made a dangerous mistake, based on inexperience there. He dropped his hands on the ropes. For the first time here, he has pinned Qawi in the ropes, but he didn't do anything, as Dwight says.
Again, another smiling shrug from Qawi. You may see a discrepancy at times from our clock on the screen and the clock that is being kept here at the arena with the belt. There have been problems all day. What more can I say? Any reasons that could be for that?
Atlanta is not a big fight town. They have had some shows here, most notably the heavyweight show in January and Muhammad Ali against Jerry Quarry years ago in Ali's comeback fight, but it is not a big fight town. It's just simply inexperience on the part of the commission.
And the relatively quiet bell has resulted in much fighting after the bell. Any other way it could affect the fight, do you think? I mean, 15 rounds is long enough without having longer rounds.
Well, I really hope that it doesn't lead to one fighter dropping his hands when he hears the bell, the other fighter not hearing it and landing a shot that could turn the fight around after the bell.
Holyfield trying to stand his ground now. The battle for the second win continues. Round 10, scheduled to go 15. Once again, this is the junior heavyweight title fight between Muhammad Qawi and Evander Holyfield for the WBA title.
Once again, Evander starts very fast, using the jab, using the movement.
Quick reminder.
Can he sustain it?
Quick reminder about our U.S. Women's Open golf coverage, which was halted today due to inclement weather, bad rain and thunder. Betsy King is the leader at 3 under through 14 holes. They will decide in Ohio whether they will resume play by 6 p.m. We are told now that they may be resuming momentarily, and a slip, I believe, by Holyfield.
He slipped in water in his own corner. He went down heavily. He seems all right. Tommy Brooks in the Holyfield corner is mopping it up, but he went down.
Just to finish the golf report, if they do not resume today, they'll finish the third round tomorrow morning, and then the fourth round, hopefully, if weather permitting, tomorrow afternoon, and you can see that exclusively on ABC Sports. We're in the 10th round.
Two good body shots above the belt there by Dwight.
Alex, what types of things that have happened so far in this fight have surprised you? That one by Holyfield got in with authority.
Well, Dwight has done what we expected to do. He's come straight in. I'm a little bit surprised that Evander has been able to hang in there as well as he did. Around round 5, rounds 4 and 5, he tired a little bit, but he's come back and he's very much in the fight.
We'd like to alert our stations along the line that at the end of this round, we'll be taking a station break. Just about a minute remaining in the round.
Right here, both fighters are taking time off there. They're leaning on each other. It's a matter of who ends the rest. Dwight ended that one, and he continues to rally. Scores well. Good uppercut by Evander.
With a good left and another left that got in. Qawi's gloves dropping down lower than I remember in the fight. Now he explodes back to send Holyfield on his heels.
Right now, Qawi's a little bit tired. Breathing very, very heavily. Bloody in the mouth.
They're exchanging
Muhammad Qawi has a tremendous heart, Al. He's got just a burning intensity. It has to be born, at least in part, from that background that he came from that we talked about at the top of the show.
And nurtured, as he has admitted, in prison. Well, he had a lot of time to think. We'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports coverage of the WBA World Junior Heavyweight Championship bout between Holyfield and Qawi after this from our local stations. Dwight Muhammad Qawi and Evander Holyfield charge to the center of the ring as we begin round 11 in their WBA Junior Heavyweight title fight. The belt belongs to Qawi at the age of 33, Holyfield at 23. Of course, you remember him with the controversial bronze medal at the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Since then, 11 successful pro bouts. The question, which Holyfield is attempting to answer today, is 11 professional bouts enough going up against someone of the experience of Qawi?
An awful lot of people in boxing thought it was not. Thought that Evander is a tremendous talent, but this is just too soon to put him in with somebody with the toughness and the strength and the determination of Dwight Muhammad Qawi.
A very loud crowd of about 8,000 or 9,000 at the Omni in Atlanta. Still Qawi, head down, gloves out, coming forward towards Holyfield. Holyfield with a vicious combination of punches. They got around the defensive Qawi.
Evander must not get excited here. He must pace himself. He can't expend all his energy because, as we've seen time and again, Qawi will rally just as he is right here.
Holyfield trying desperately to cover up the barrage from Qawi. Resting his head on Holyfield's chest. Now I believe a chant of Qawi in the arena. What a turnaround for the hometown kid, Holyfield.
I think it was Holy. I don't know. It's tough to tell. But I do not think they were chanting for Qawi, but I could be wrong. The Holyfield corner again complaining about low blows. Good scoring combination by Evander and another right hand. And still Qawi comes. No clinches.
A lunging left. Again, the perspiration flying off the face of Holyfield as Qawi gets in.
You see Evander's inexperience just then. For some reason, he put his right hand up to block against the jab. What he should have been doing is protecting against the right hand of Qawi. And Qawi got the right home and scored with it.
Round 11 winding down. At most, we have 4 more to go in Atlanta. Round 12, scheduled for 15 in Atlanta. Al Trautwig along with Alex Wallo, Dwight Muhammad Qawi still the pursuer. What a pest he's been through 11 rounds to Evander Holyfield with the height advantage and the reach advantage, but experience and years in the ring lacking. But he's trying to tee off now on Qawi. But Alex, I think, and we've seen it 3 or 4 times in the fight, he uses too much on not enough opportunity against Qawi in those flurries early in a round.
He's not picking his shots quite as well as he could, and he uses up and wastes a lot of energy doing it. It's just a matter of experience, and this is a tremendous learning experience, win or lose for Evander Holyfield. It looks to be at this point like he can go 15 rounds. He's not fresh. He's tired. He's had ebb and flow in terms of his energy, but he definitely looks like he can go 15 rounds. Pulling with the jab and then coming up with the right uppercut, doubling with it. But again, staying on the ropes. He tried to turn Qawi there and push him back. Got his distance. Good right hand by Holyfield.
Right, the likes of which we haven't seen from Holyfield in a few rounds.
And stand by from Qawi. Wesley Mouzon in Dwight's corner told him between rounds he has to throw more punches. He said, this is the other guy's hometown. You have to be busy. The question is, at age 33, at least age 33, can Dwight, against a strong, tough, determined, gutty young opponent, can Dwight Muhammad Qawi be busy? Can he sustain the action?
Holyfield getting the better of Qawi in the early part of this round, inside the final minute of round 12. And those legs that could support a pier, Qawi still uses them to move forward and get Holyfield against the ropes. And for the past couple of days, we've had a chance to follow the fortunes of the Atlanta Braves. All the fans here, and we are too, looking forward to the Midsummer Classic. The All-Star Game on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Holyfield bouncing off the ropes, looking a little tired.
I don't think he was hurt. I just think he took a good stiff jab, and he just went back on the ropes, just from fatigue more than the punch. Good scoring punch from Qawi. He has not used the jab that much because he's been happy to get in tight where he can't get hurt.
12th round winding down. Perhaps 3 more to go. Who will have enough left? We enter round 13, which means we have a maximum of 3 to go. Alex, how would you summarize the 12 we've seen so far?
I think Evander has just had a little bit more energy, a little bit more punching and combination, throw more punches and landed more. I have him ahead by 4 points at this stage. There could be a lot of people who disagree with me, especially people who give points for aggression. Dwight has done almost all of the aggression in terms of coming in throughout the fight.
And Holyfield, as he has, coming out strong in the early part of the round. Teeing off on the head of Qawi. Qawi trying to cover up. Now let's see if history repeats itself again. Will Qawi come lunging back at Holyfield, who has used up too much energy?
Yeah, of course he will. But he does not have, he's just been worn down a little bit too much right now. He just can't come back with enough to make up for what Holyfield did. Right now, Dwight's well behind in this round with a minute gone in the round.
Remember, 3 judges at ringside doing the scoring on the 10-point Musk system. Referee Vinny Renaud does not figure.
And Vinny Renaud's going to warn him again. He did not take a point away. I thought that he would come in and penalize Dwight for a point there, but he did not.
Point there would have really changed things for the final couple of rounds. Midway point or thereabouts of round 13.
Dwight's just not throwing enough punches. He's just taking time off inside. He's fighting in spurts. He's just, neither fighter is, of course, fighting all the time. It's impossible with this kind of a pace and the punches they've absorbed. But Evander is just out-busying him. He's just beating to the punch.
And you notice the taunting that we saw a little bit of in the earlier rounds is completely absent.
At the end of the last round, Dwight looked at Evander to see what...
Boy, wasn't that a great look he gave him?
Yeah, he gave him a look to say, what are you still doing here? Evander just calmly walked back to his corner.
Holyfield sliding away from that right nicely.
You know, we've talked a lot about how this is the only time that Evander Holyfield has been this far. Dwight has only been this far once before. That was his 15-round decision loss to Michael Spinks.
2 big rights by Holyfield to the chin of Qawi.
You hit me, I'll hit you.
And then I'll hit you again. Good combination. 2 to the chin of Qawi. Some more. His gloves have dropped.
Believe it or not, Qawi dropped his gloves. He does that to try to entice Evander into letting his hands go and trying to get some counter-punching opportunities. But he took some punishment there.
A right that looked like it just glanced off the chin of Qawi. No big damage, but there certainly was a lot behind it. And the school bell sounds, and the round is over. 2 to go. They're loving it in Atlanta.
uppercut and the left hook behind it, and the right, and another left that missed. Evander Holyfield has such good basic skills. He puts punches together. He's got power in both those hands. Left jab, missed a left. There you saw, and the uppercut. And right hands and a left behind it. Evander said before the fight that he almost didn't mind if Dwight slipped that jab. He didn't have to hit him with it. He wanted to bring him in on the right hand, and that replay you saw him do exactly that. And the key thing was that Evander wasn't satisfied just to land the one punch. He put punches with both hands together.
You may have heard Qawi ask, is this the 14th? Yes, it is. And amazingly, for all the slugging, all the punching, no cuts. Some puffiness on the face of Dwight Muhammad Qawi. His eyes reddened from the blows leveled on him by this 23-year-old bronze medalist from the LA Olympics of '84, Evander Holyfield. We are told that they are resuming play at the NCR in Ohio for the U.S. Women's Open of Golf. You will see highlights of the conclusion of the third round and the fourth and final round on ABC Sports coverage of the U.S. Women's Open of Golf tomorrow. Betsy King again the leader at 3 under. We are in the 14th round. King had played through the 14th hole. Holyfield covering up along the ropes. Lou Duba, his manager, trying to screen for him to slide away. Move away from Qawi. He can really register damage in this close.
But Dwight is just not throwing. We talked earlier about the extra weight that he's carrying, and I really think that's a factor. I just don't think he's able to carry this weight.
They're trading some heavy body punches here. Holyfield's eyes have that fire.
Yeah, you can see he now knows that the stamina is not a problem. He is officially a professional fighter. He can go these 14, and he will be able to go the 15 rounds. And trust me, that was a tremendous question in his mind. He may not admit it, but until you've done it, you don't know you can do it.
Qawi is right, blocked by Holyfield. And still the pursuit. Unrelenting, coming towards Holyfield throughout this entire fight. Holyfield taking a moment to glance over at the directions of Lou Duba.
And Lou Duba did one thing. He shot his left hand out 4 times. He wants him to jab and stay away. Keep his distance, not let Qawi get into range.
Last minute of the 14th.
Just been the same thing, Al, since about the 5th or 6th round. 2 men trading, the younger man being the busier, the more active, and scoring the more punches. Both men showing unbelievable courage and determination.
We're wrapping up 14 great rounds of boxing. The 15th is up next, live in Atlanta. Of the WBA World Junior Heavyweight Championship of the World. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, who yesterday called Evander Holyfield mediocre, would not be saying that to us right now.
He didn't believe it either. He was just trying to psych him out. He was not able to do that. He has not been able to do that. On my scorecard, Evander Holyfield is ahead by 5 points and in control of this fight. That is, of course, unofficial. Again, Evander slips this time in Qawi's corner. He did not go down this time. Vinny Rowan stops the clock, orders both corners to dry him up. Each corner is just soaking his man with water and ice, trying to revive him, trying to make his man the fresher.
I see ice cubes up in the corner of Holyfield right above us here at ringside. That right snapped the jaw of Holyfield. Another left coming in from Qawi.
Both fighters are going to let it all hang out here in the 15th and final round.
Alex, do you think Qawi realizes or thinks that he is behind?
I really wouldn't want to take a guess, Al. I think he must know, but you can't tell from his style because he fights the same way all the time. He's trying to knock your head off all the time.
I was wrong. The chant is definitely holy, holy for Holyfield. It's his hometown, remember. They've watched him mature. They've watched him in the Olympic Games. Perhaps they share that disappointment with him.
He has done them very, very proud, and himself very proud today, Al.
But here's Qawi, the veteran. Does he have any tricks left?
Dwight has nothing to be ashamed of either. He has given, I think, everything he has to give. I just don't think at this age and at that weight that he can give enough to beat. In my opinion, he hasn't given enough to beat this young challenger.
Now we're approaching the final minute of the 15th and final round, but there was a stoppage to wipe off the corners.
That time, Qawi looked at Vinny Renaud, the referee, and asked him what he was warning him about. He didn't understand. Qawi asking Renaud to warn Holyfield for Holy behind the head, and Qawi landed a good left hook there. Evander may have flurried a little bit too much early in this round. He's going to have to gut the end of this round out.
Holyfield slipping again.
And give Dwight Muhammad Qawi credit. He did not let a punch go when Holyfield was down. We can see Dwight head on right now. He is very tired. He is just wide open with his mouth. Can barely hold his hands up, and he backs up.
A big right that really stunned Qawi. He stuttered. But now, look at him. Still, fire left in his eyes and in some of his punches.
I think that was the experience. I think Dwight may know he has to knock him out. I think he might have thought the way to get him to come in wide open was to back up. And there's the final bell. You might be able to see from Dwight's face that he recognizes that he gave everything he had, but today, against Evander Holyfield, it was not enough.
Qawi. I was just told by referee Vinny Renaud that there was a point taken away for a low blow from Qawi. So, still to come, the much-awaited decision. Is Evander Holyfield's dream come true? Or has Qawi withstood the storm, and what a storm it was, to hold on to his championship belt? Back in a moment. Did the ball bounce here in Atlanta today? Did it bounce for Evander Holyfield? Certainly the experts sitting at ringside here seem to think so. Or maybe did the champion hold on, Dwight Muhammad Qawi, for the WBA Junior Heavyweight title? His eyes puffy. He looks a little dazed. Certainly he looks like the beaten man in the ring right now. 15 fabulous rounds of boxing. A staggering blow by Holyfield, who got his second wind, I believe, in the 11th or 12th round. Qawi just dropped, stuttered on his feet, and then roared right back at Holyfield. And really stunned him with a big right. You see Terrell Biggs, Natalie attired in the back, standing over the crowd, wondering perhaps when his day was come. Mark Breland is in the ring, Meldrick Taylor. Here's Terrell. Remember, he broke his collarbone, still on the mend. Pernell Whitaker also here. He had a broken finger in his bone, and he is on the mend as well. Let's go into the ring.
Have your attention, please. We have a majority decision. Judge Letterman scores the fight 144-140, Holyfield. Judge Volkman scores the fight 143-141, Qawi. Judge Quintana scores the fight 147-138 for the winner and new junior heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield.
We watched them all in the ring at Los Angeles. Who would have thought that the man who suffered the greatest disappointment would be the first to achieve a world title? The new WBA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Evander Holyfield, in a split decision. So Dwight Muhammad Qawi, 2 titles in his professional career, and now at the age of 33, has lost a title for the 2nd time. For Qawi, only his 3rd loss against 26 wins and 1 draw. And for Holyfield, an even dozen pro fights, the 12th being the biggest.
I'm here with Dwight Muhammad Qawi, the champion, ex-champion, just lost on a split decision. Dwight, your reaction to the decision?
Well, of course, I don't think he's done enough. I'm champion. He ran, pity-patted most of the time. But, he was holding me behind the head. The guy kept holding my fight up, telling me I stopped hitting me below the belt. I wasn't hitting me below the belt. He was holding me behind the head. He was pulling my head down. He said nothing about that. He had all the help in the world. But I'm not arguing. I ain't going nowhere, I just come back.
What do you think of him as a fighter?
A lot of stamina, very good.
Did he surprise you?
With the stamina, yeah, good stamina.
What are you going to do now, Dwight?
Well, I'm going back to the drawing board, I'm not finished, I, just sort of trained to stretch him out a little longer. But I took him the distance, and I felt as though I won. I felt he wasn't doing enough. I was more aggressive. I was placing the most punishing shots. Of course, he got like 4 or 5 rounds, but that's all.
Okay, Dwight, thanks very much, and good luck in the future. Let me move over and get Evander Holyfield, the new champion.
Good luck, Alex.
Any more questions about your stamina, Evander?
Oh, my stamina's great. First of all, thank the Lord for everything.
You look to me like you gave out a little bit in the 5th and 6th round, and then you got that 2nd win.
Well, at the 5th and 6th round, I started giving in to the old Holyfield. When I thought about it, I had a lot on the line, and guard was behind me. I knew all I had to do is just make that effort.
Does this make up for that loss of the gold in the Olympics in '84?
Well, that was amateur, but I think this make up for everything. This is the biggest thing that ever happened to me in my life, the 2nd largest visa price in my life.
Did he ever hurt you?
Well, he hurt me once. I think in about the 4th or 5th round, I can't really say, but he hurt me once, hit me with a good right hand.
Did he surprise you that he took as much as he did take?
Well, I was looking forward to a tough fight. Qawi is the champion, and I've seen him fight a lot of hard bouts. So I was mentally prepared for anything he would take, and I was looking forward to going to 15 rounds because this guy, I knew he wasn't going to let down at all.
Sensational victory. You proved you're a champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Al at ringside.
Okay, Alex, again, the first Olympian from Los Angeles' team in 1984 to win a world title. An exciting chapter of boxing for ABC's North Korean.